So about 8 years ago, I'm sitting in a small group, and toward the end of it, we were all huddled around, and the adult small group leaders were praying over me and Carrie and a couple other small group leaders. And all of a sudden, my eyes are closed, and I have this picture in my mind, this vision. I'm literally standing on a precipice, like a bank of a river of lava, what I assumed was lava, and in the expanse I could see another bank on the other end of the lava. And right when I see this, I hear the Lord ask me, "Are you willing to cross?" My heart starts beating, and I just become pretty afraid, and all these images start flashing up in front of me. My job, my wife, my family, everything about me that I would consider that makes me a unique individual on this earth. I keep hearing this question, "Are you willing to cross?" And I wish I could tell you that there was a happy ending to this, but I could not, for the life of me, say yes. Mainly because of the fear that had gripped me about who I would be, or what it would look like to cross this river and all these things that had flashed up in front of me be burned up. I had put my identity in all of these different things that were flashing up in front of me. When I went through discipleship a couple years later, we went through 1 John, and what we talked about was being in Him and Him in me. And it really confused me, the part about me being in Him. I'd always heard from preachers in church that ask Christ in your heart, and He'd come in and live. And so from that point, I was just confused, and so I was intrigued about what it meant to be in Him. I had invested who I am into all these things in the world, and a little piece of me I placed in my family, a little piece of me, maybe a big piece of me I placed in my family, another piece of me I put in my career, maybe my car, maybe just all the different things, where I'm from, and things that I kind of take pride in. And so what we discovered is that I was not in Christ. I was in all of these things, and in a sense I was invested in those things. And my fear that really gripped me on that day was that if all those things were burned up, my investment of myself would not have a return of love. I finally kind of get it, that being in Christ, or being in Him, like 1 John says so many times, is taking my identity out of all those things that are in this world, and putting all of me into Christ. And I got to thinking about that. If and when and because I do that, He can walk through the fire with me and not be burnt. I find that really is the difference between being in the world versus being in Him.